So the last time we visited Fred, it was from his porch at his home.
So let's go outside and take a look at the wing.
Yeah, let's see what you got going on. We're on a back porch here.
Hey!
Well, he's graduated from the back porch to the hangar. Let's get an update from Fred. About 20 miles northwest of Tallahassee, Florida, is the small town of Quincy, where you'll find 2J9 Quincy Municipal Airport, with a 2,900-foot paved runway 14 and 32. They have this very unique FBO that looks part clubhouse, part treehouse, a bit of a control tower, and maybe a little Key West. This is the new home for Fred's S21 project. Fred is building RANS Design's newest model of experimental aircraft called the S21 Outbound. It will be in the tricycle gear configuration with big tires for on or off airport adventures. Let's see what Fred has accomplished this past year on his S21 project.
I'm Fred D'Antonio in Quincy, Florida, and welcome aboard. Come on in and say hello.
Fred, since the last time we visited you, you have moved from home on your back porch to the hangar, and I see you've got a whole lot of aircraft parts sitting on the floor of your hangar now.
Yes, and my wife is very appreciative of the fact that all these flaps and ailerons are no longer in the grandchildren's crib. And the rudder and the vertical stabilizer is not on the bed, and I'm glad that my elevator and horizontal stabilizer are no longer upstairs in my office.
Well, you took over much more of the house since I visited, because I think you were in the kitchen and the dining room last we spoke, and the porch, so you took over the whole house.
Well, I did, and all those things were hidden at that point because those were the first parts that I built was the tail. But yeah, they were scattered all over the house.
Okay, so you have pretty much, I think you said, I don't know, 90 to 95% of the wings done, and both left and right sitting here?
That's correct. I got to put the ends on them and finish it up near the fuel tank, but they're basically complete. Flaps are done, the ailerons are done, all ready to bolt up.
And you worked on that roughly part-time for about a year, correct?
That's
to get
true.
to that stage?
The wing kit came in right around Christmas. I started it after the New Year's on the wings. And you visited about that time, I think it was a year ago, and I was working on the wing. So I finished the wings, and, well, not really finished, but close to finished.
Okay. And how was that process for you? I know when we spoke on your back porch that it was a very enjoyable kit to put together so far, and how the rest of the wing and the other wing go.
The wings went together great. It's been very well made kit. The pieces fit, they go together, instructions are good. I've been very pleased with it. And you kind of got to look at this as just one task at a time. You can't think about, oh, I'm never going to get finished. We've got this whole airplane to build, because it takes a long time.
Yeah.
You have to be satisfied with each task.
Yeah, there's a lot of little milestones along the way that seem to be big milestones to us as we're building.
That's true. Okay, the way I scheduled this out was when I ordered my first kit. The RANS was a year out, so you know they within a month or so they sent me the tail. I had the tail to work on, but then all the other parts were a year out to obtain. So what I did was I ordered the wing kit, and then I waited about 3 months, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and ordered the fuselage kit, so that, you know, the reason why I wanted to schedule those out like that was so that I didn't have all these parts and pieces with no place to separate them out, inventory them, and store them, and then store the built pieces. So as it went along, I would be finishing a part up like the fuselage or the wings, and then the fuselage would show up, and so then it would be time to build that. So I had that kit, and then the finished kit, of course, behind it. So all that worked out real well by just staggering the orders by a few months. Worked out real well for me. And
so you gave yourself a timeline to get stuff done, and also a little bit of pressure knowing that another assembly or sub-assembly would arrive in a few months.
That's right. And it was especially nice not having to keep up with all those parts, because organization is key to this thing. So if you got everything all at one time, for me that would have been overwhelming. Finding a place for it all, and store it, and build it. So all that time I was waiting on a hangar, or had put in for a hangar, and you know, it seemed like it never come, and I'd move up and down the list, and then all of a sudden, one day there it was. I got the call and got a hangar, and it turns out it was in a real nice location, a nice hangar, and I've been very pleased with it. I'm very fortunate to get it. So it's been great to get my stuff out here.
It's a little bit like winning the lottery, isn't it, when you get that call that a hangar has become available? It
is. It's like it's time to go. So yeah, when you get the call, you got to go, because it'll go to somebody else, and who knows when another one will show up. So I was very pleased and very fortunate and grateful to get a hangar.
All right, so in fact you have evolved here into the next big item of build, and that is your fuselage, which is sitting behind us. And you decided to go with the tricycle gear configuration instead of the tail wheel. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, it was a tough choice on that. I really wanted the tail gear, but I don't have that endorsement, and just finding somebody to provide it and a place to do it is just, I decided that I'd go the easy route for insurance and training, and I've got grandkids that may want to learn to fly, so felt like the tricycle was appropriate.
Okay, and now on to the fuselage. Where did you start? Where did the plan say to start with this? Obviously you have a fully welded cage that comes in, so that's already done for you, but where do you start in the progression of building the fuselage?
Well, the first part of it is to assemble the bulkheads. So the bulkheads are assembled, and then the floor of the fuselage is put together on the stringers and the longerons, and you hang it upside down on sawhorses, and then rivet the bulkheads to the bottom of the fuselage, and then flip it over and put it on the table and start assembling your side panels. And after you assemble the tailcone, then you made it up to the cage, and of course that alignment and all is critical, getting that correct. And then of course you assemble the side pieces and then move to the cowling after that, which is kind of where I am now, is piecing the cowling together.
Well, going back to the tailcone for a minute, did you have any special jigs you had to build to square everything up, or how did you make sure that that critical component was square with the frame?
Measurements, basically. So there was no jig for it. You just basically lined it up and measured it out, got your angles right, and drilled your holes and riveted in.
Okay, so just a lot of triangulation measurements to
right.
Find that.
Making sure it's square, you know, you pull off the front to the back, make sure it's square on both sides, make sure your angle is correct on the cage to the tail cone, and that's it basically.
So I just want to pop in a breakaway for just a second here and talk about this this brake and just how wonderful our builder community is. I was on my way out to see Fred today, and I am short a couple L-angle pieces for my project. I'm like, hey, do you happen to have a small brake? And he's like, no, but let me ask around. And I got here, and somebody, Dave, came over and just dropped this off. He just dropped off the brake here for me to use for 5 minutes. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it. But this is what it's all about, guys. Supporting each other and getting stuff done and our passion of aviation. Hey everyone, let me take just a moment here to thank our sponsors that make all of this possible. Great companies like Airworx, Airtech Coatings, Clemens Insurance Agency, Whelen Aerospace Technologies. So take a moment after this video to say hello to all of them, and remember to check out the affiliate links in the description below. And remember, just build it. Let's get back to it. So essentially year 1 was wings and tail surfaces. Year 2 is going to be the fuselage. We think it'll be a year 3, and that'll be probably the 90% to go, or think it'll be done before then?
No, I think it'll be another year. I still have to make some decisions on avionics and engine, and haven't done that yet, and that's going to take some time to do. Right now, when it was at home, it was really nice because I could just go out there and work on it for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or just decide what needed to be done, how to do it, and do a little bit of this or that. If I got hung up, just turn around and walk away from it for a while, then come back. But being it's half-hour drive now to the airport, it's not so easy to do that.
So that being said, do you create more of like a punch list, or a list of things you want to do as an itinerary every time you come out, or just come out and kind of reassess each time and let's work on this?
No, I try to have a plan when I come out on what I'm going to work on and what I'm going to do. And I'll probably take some of the parts home with me to work on them there, like the seats and stuff, on assembling the seats, so that I can do some of that stuff at home instead of out here. Obviously you've only been out here for a few months now, and it's also winter time, so that doesn't help here in Florida because it's actually quite cold today. But being the time you have been out here, this is a fairly populated airport. Have you found it to be kind of refreshing to be around other builders or pilots while you're out here, or at least seeing the airplane taxi by? It is. It's great. They got a lot of really great guys out here that it's nice having somebody around if you need some help, or you're scratching your head about something that you can ask, or if you need something like a brake, somebody's got it. Somebody knows the answers to the questions. So,
quick update here at Fred's brand new hangar, new to him, and where he's at right now on the fuselage build. I'll have to come in another 6 months to a year and visit you again, and I absolutely want to go flying with you on this thing when it gets done.
That sounds like a deal.
And if you guys watched the first episode, or if you haven't, go check that out, where he's building on his back porch. But I will send a link below, put a link below for you to click on. He has a builder's log through the EAA site where you can go see the different steps where he's progressed through his build.
Lots of photos there.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Experimental Aircraft channel. I invite you right now to like and subscribe, hit all those notification buttons. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.